Yeah, maybe y'all can hear it now. Y'all just missed a lot of it. I had it muted. I'm sorry. Okay. Okay. We talk about leadership. Okay, thank y'all. Put y'all hands to those who are bearing in mind. So leadership is capacity and influence. Y'all got that, right? Okay, others through inspiration, motivated by passion, generated by vision, produced by conviction, ignited by purpose. I'm doing this for those online. All right. So you got to discover your why and then write that down. Write your why down. Okay. Write down why you exist and stick with it. You can't change your why every time something new show up. Here's a problem. Many times we see people doing this, so we want to do this because it's the new shining penny. It's the new shining thing. It's what everybody else is doing. But you got to swim in your own lane. Your why is your why. Listen, I was talking, and then y'all know Les Brown, right? Yeah. So I was talking to Les Brown. He loves Joshua. And I was telling Les, I said, I'm the greatest empowerment motivation speaker in the world. And I told Les Brown that. He said, Doc, I like you, man. I said, you can't out Doc Rock. It's impossible. I cannot out James. But if James is not in his why, trying to be somebody else, then guess what? You can't maximize who God called you to be. You can glean from other people. We learn from one another, but you can't be anyone else. You are fearfully and wonderfully made. When God made you, he broke the mold for you to do something great. Greatness is in you. It's going to take some work to get it out of you. It's going to take you learning and then applying the knowledge that you have with wisdom in order to go forward. I tell people all the time, you cannot stop a man like me. I know who I am. If I fall 7, I get up 8. If I fall 10, I get up 11. If I fall 1,000, I get up 1,001. You won't stop me, okay? Why? Because when you know who you are and you know what you called to do, not just in church, but I'm talking about in the kingdom, doing what God told you, then you're unstoppable. Okay, give your neighbor a high five and say you're unstoppable. Those who are online, you're unstoppable. We're talking about, for those who just joined in online, the call to lead. You were born for this. Stop complaining about what you're going through. Write this formula down. It's not. Some of you know it because you've been in all my mastermind class and all this. Write down E plus R equals O. E as in events, as in environment, plus R as in response, equals O. E plus R equals O. O stands for outcomes. You are in total control over the outcomes in your life. I need y'all to agree with me on that. You in control, not somebody say, no, Doc, you don't understand. This happened to me and that happened to me. And how long are you gonna complain about it? If you believe in God and he's a big God and he's a deliverer, and you can do all things to him, why are you still complaining about something that happened to you 5 years ago? Or when you was a child? See, you're allowing the devil to take some one-time experience to dictate who you are. People's perception of you is not your reality, or shouldn't be your reality. E plus R equals O. So you cannot control some events that happen in your life. You cannot control some environments that you are in or you was born in. What you can control totally is how do you respond to it. When you see the mountain, do you speak to it? When you see a problem, is it a problem or is it an opportunity? Your response control where you go and how far you go. Your response. So when here it goes. When life throw me lemons, what do? Lemon meringue pie. See, yes, y'all know the teaching. Most people say lemons. No, I make lemon meringue pie. I take it to another level. My response, okay, listen, 85% of what happens in your life is based on your response to, those things. It's not based on what happened, it's your response. 85% of your productivity, proven by study, is based on your PMA, your positive mental attitude. How you see things in life. Y'all still with me? And if you don't get that together, then you won't go forward. If you don't think like a king, you'll live like a pauper. It's all part of your thinking. That's why people can be in church all their life. Going to church don't make you no more successful than living in the hen house make you a chicken. You got to apply it. You got to change your thinking. if I was speaking to Tanya and I was telling Tanya that you are great, but Tanya is thinking, and she's not, okay, and Tanya was thinking that she's subpar, no matter what I teach her or say to her, if her mindset says she's subpar, she never can get above that. You cannot outlive what's on the canvas of your imagination. You can't outlive it. Can't outlive your PMA. Are y'all still with me? You got to get this, right? So now, as a leader, you got to see yourself in another position. When I was a project boy eating government cheese, I saw myself speaking to kings and people around the world. It's being honest with you. I saw myself driving what I want to drive. I saw myself helping other people when I didn't have two nickels to rub together, right? But if you don't see it, you will not do the necessary things on a consistent basis called routine with discipline in order to get it. Won't happen. And you can shout, dance, run. I be seeing people shout, dance, run, and praise the Lord, but they'll never have what they shout about. Ever. Because they're not doing the necessary things daily in order to manifest. Paul said it this way, oh, the foolishness of preaching. Meaning that some just won't get it. Y'all still with me? So write down that statement. Let me keep going because I feel good right now. See, because when I'm looking at some people who want to grow, y'all don't have to be him. It takes effort to drive him. Some of you online, it takes an effort, not as much, but they're taking it, because they're in different places. We got people watching from London and other places. Anyway, the divine design. Let's look at the divine design. Leadership starts with identity. Talk a little bit about this. Before I shaped you in the womb, I knew you. You got to put in your mind that God knows you. He knows you. And not just know your faults, he knows your destiny. Listen, a righteous man falls 7 times and what? Get back up. Quit tripping because you failed. Quit letting people bluff you out of your blessing just because you failed. The Bible says a righteous man falls 7 times and get back up. So if you fail, why are you letting some earthling beat you up, make you feel bad, judge you on a failure? That's why I want some of you all, not in this room, because I know y'all ain't in here, okay, but get it to your friend. You like talking about failures with people. Don't do that. Don't scroll the internet and always looking at somebody's failure. If you think like that, you failure minded. People like me, and I'm telling you, a whole lot of us, we don't think like that. We don't move like that. We say, okay, they did all good, bless them. Okay, help me get something. We move on. We never even talk about it again. Because then that's in your system. Yeah. That's who you are. Yeah. You identify with it because you see yourself as a failure undercover. That's it. Success leaves clues. Okay? In any realm, right? So you can't. So before you was shaking your mother's womb, he said, I knew you. All right. Leadership insight. God knew you intimately. Your gifting, your personality, the voices, and your voice, excuse me. They are tailored to your leadership assignment. That's why we're all different. We all have different giftings. We have different personalities. Some of your personality is geared towards certain things, right? And it's cool. You don't have to be out front. Now, to be honest with you, I never saw myself really out front. I saw myself helping people. Now, some of y'all ain't agree with this, but I got some witnesses. Coming up in school, I didn't talk like this. I was the nerd. I was a serious introvert. Y'all remember, I have an engineering degree. Okay, I mean most engineers, now don't get me wrong. I still can nerd out. Or I still get my friends. I still can nerd out. Okay, no big deal. Okay, but I didn't see myself. But when God put His anointing on me to do what I'm doing, it changed my personality. Listen, Dr. A wake up all the time saying, dude, I did not marry you. Where you come from? I'm for real. I mean, this is not the guy she married at all. Okay? But when you get in God, then God will give you, okay, she changed my personality. So sometimes you shift to, okay, in order to go where God needs you to go. But be comfortable in your skin. And just because you're not an extroverted person, don't mean that you're inferior. No, it just means it's how you operate. Just because you don't know Bernoulli's equation, don't mean anything. Just because you can't spell real good. Listen, I made all A's, and I made A's in spelling. But when I'm teaching, a lot of times, I be writing on boards. I let them know, ain't no spell check up here. Because I've got to come with the spell check. Yeah. But anyway, but when you know who you are, you operate in that. Your skin color, your hair, your how tall you are, how short you are. All these things God made you for your purpose. It's all in your purpose. That's why you don't be trying to be other people. Be you. God made you for a reason. Get comfortable in your skin. Y'all. Listen. Now, some people may not think that I'm an attractive man, and that's cool. That's not ain't no big deal. Cause he be tripping. You may know my man may not think you're an attractive lady. But listen, when I looked in the mirror this morning, I bet you if I would drive from the beach. Man, I put this jacket on. These pants. And when I put that hanger right there, I got him today, baby. You look good. You see, because self-image in God is a powerful thing. I'm not talking about vanity. I'm talking about knowing who you are. Okay, let me keep going. Y'all can't handle that. Right? And see, so some people cannot fulfill what God called them because they see themselves as ugly. They can't lead. See, if you can't lead, if you can't lead yourself, if you can't be the leader of one, you can't be the leader of any. But if you can be the leader of one, you can be the leader of many. See, some people trying to lead many, but they ain't led one. Don't work that way. I have people coming in trying to give me leadership tips and that. I want to say, you can't fake your way out of a bucket of leadership. Why are you trying to talk to me? Really? Just because you Google something and chat GPT, put it on a form, that don't mean that you can teach it. You can't teach things that you don't live. Are y'all still with me? Yes, all right, let's keep going. Let's keep going here. Professional development add-on. Before great leaders lead people, they lead themselves with clarity and conviction. All right? You got to lead with clarity and conviction. Do you know where you're going? That's why I asked you about knowing your why. Getting a personal development form, not form, but plan. A personal development plan. Where do you see yourself in 6 months? Now, things going to change because God going to be shifting. Where do you see yourself in 6 months? Where do you see yourself in a year? Where do you see yourself in 2.5 years? Where do you see yourself in 5 years? Where do you see yourself in 10 years? And if you can dream, let's go for 20 years. Where do you see yourself in 20 years? Those things are important because when you have those things, then you back yourself down into milestones and goals that you have on paper that's going to allow you to achieve those things. In business, we call it KPIs. Right? Key performance indicators. What are the key performance indicators, KPIs, in your personal life? How are you going to get what you're talking about? How are you going to affect God's kingdom the way that you're bragging about and preaching about and singing about and shouting about and you got it all over Facebook? That's cool. But you don't want to be Facebook famous. Okay? You want to be influential. So how you going to do it? And guess what? It's not hard. There's not an unsuccessful person in this room unless you choose to be there. Okay? All right, now let's keep going. The principle of self-awareness. Now I got emotional intelligence. I'm not here. We will talk about emotional intelligence, but I'm not here to talk about emotional intelligence. I do 4 seminars and you get invited to it on emotional intelligence. But I do want to talk about the first part of emotional intelligence is self-awareness. You got to have some self-awareness. Y'all got me? That means you are aware of you. You understand who you are. Everybody do this right here. You got to do a checkup from the neck up. All right? Now everybody do this right here. A look around from the shoulders down. You got to do a checkup from the neck up and a look around from the shoulder down. Meaning that you have to discover you. Self-awareness. Who are you? What triggers you? What makes you mad? What gets you frustrated? What brings fear to you? Because you have to overcome those things and master them to be what God called you to be. Most of us, y'all take this wrong, we're not self-aware. Self-awareness don't happen one time It's a daily discovery. You are dealing with some things from past generations, thousands of years, that you probably have not even tapped into. And many of them are negative. 80%, approximately 80%, well, an individual has 66,000 thoughts, feelings a day. 66,000. And 80 to 90% of them are negative. So if you are not on purpose, intentionally looking at yourself within and saying, how do I feel? Why would when I saw this, it made me react this way? When I saw him, it made me react this way. Her, when somebody did this or whatever, you have to learn those things because you got to know you. And I'll just some people on our consulting team company, we see this all the time in some of the companies we in. And we ask people, let's write down 5 things that you love about you. Not that you love to do. 5 things you love about you. And they struggle. But if I ask you, what are 5 things you love about your mom? 5 things you love about your spouse? 5 things you love about your children? Boom. Easy. Because we've been badly taught to help others before we help ourselves. Mm-hmm. And really, you can't help others before you help yourself. If you don't know, if you know 5 things you love about everybody else and don't know 5 things you love about you, you're cheating you. And if you cheat you, that means you operate on the underflow. So that's why you can help other people. It makes you feel good, but then you can't handle anything because you haven't built you up to lead. So you got to know 5 things you love about you and be comfortable with that. That's your thing. You know, you may love that your hair is flowing. I can't love that. but I do love. I got a bald head. I save a lot of money. See, James has to pay for things I don't have to pay for. Right? Right. I'm afraid of it. I got no locks in my head. I think anybody twisted. Right? But it's all right. But what you love about you? You have to reflect on that. Knowing your strengths, blind spots, and purpose makes you a more effective leader. What are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? What are your blind spots? Ask people to show you your blind spots. You know, at one of our organizations I lead, okay, I got, 5, 6 people report to me, 5 executives. And guess what? They're there to help me with my blind spots. We meet generally, 2 or 3 times a month. And I'm like, okay, what is this? Same thing with the ministry. I ask, blind spot. You have them. And you even know about them. What are your weaknesses? I don't have any. So, I don't call it a board I sit on, but I sit on this board and we've interviewed this guy for a position. I'll say it that way. And I asked him at the beginning of the interview, I said, what are your weaknesses? It's a pretty big position here in town. And he said, he said, I don't think I have any, really, Maybe I'm like, and then, I was okay, understand. So we kept going around the room, and at the end of the interview, I'm gonna give him another opportunity because God had some good stuff. I said, let me say it this way. Is there anything that you need to work on to improve to be better? He said, well, I worked on this and that, and right now I'm pretty good. Obviously, he didn't get the position. He was not self-aware of himself. He had an ego, which is edging God out. Right? You got to know your weaknesses. Self-awareness. Know who you are. Don't be acting like you know things in conversation with experts. I see people do this all the time. Trying to fit in. I mean, you're around some SMEs, some subject matter experts, and there you are trying to put your 2 cents in. You're not aware. Sometimes I'm in meetings, guys, that I'm like this. crickets. Because I'm learning. I never forget my first meeting on a bank board. I sit on here on Carter Bank. And this was, I don't know, 6 years, 7 years ago, whatever. And, I had those high levels. But, they were saying stuff I had no idea. I mean, some of the terminology and, the amounts, I'm thinking it was millions and billions, and I'm there and I said, let me just shut my little mouth. I said, look, I'm going to learn. So the first 2 or 3 meetings, I didn't say too much. And they was like, no, Doc, what you thinking? I've seen whatever. But, why? Because I didn't know. I was aware that I didn't know. If you need to be aware of what you don't know. I'm just aware of what you know. Are you aware of what you don't know? Because if you're not aware of what you don't know, you'll never learn because you think you know. So most people can't improve their self-awareness in God because they're already there. Somebody speaking, you complete the sentence before they complete it. That means that you're not actively listening. And I know, especially in the African American church. Some in the African American church, we love preaching with the preacher. So the preacher is preaching, and before he can complete the sentence, we have already completed and said amen. So while you were talking, while he or she was talking, you were not actively listening, meaning that you were not learning. So you said amen to something that you never heard. All right? Now look, some of y'all, I'm like, okay, it's a time to say amen. It's a time to say yes. But it's after is what's being said. Let them complete the sentence. Y'all hear me? Because what happens is, even though you may know that or may not know everything of that, you develop a habit of non-listening. So now whenever you're involved in any other conversation, you're not actively listening to what's going on. See, successful people don't listen to respond. They listen to understand. Get some wisdom, but all you're getting, get what? Understand. You got to listen to understand. Y'all got me? Now, I'm not saying on Sunday or wherever you go, you can't witness to what's being said. That ain't what I'm saying. Tell somebody that's not what he's saying. But you got to force yourself to listen. All right? Because we have learned things. I never forget my first time speaking to, I'm not going to say this because everybody come here. Speaking to an all-white audience. First Baptist in Decatur. First black to ever speak there. And spoke there the first time was Sunday morning. And then spoke, it was Easter, Holy Week, they called it. And everybody just like, I said, man, people dead. I ain't hearing nothing. Then as I was over, this older lady came, bless her heart. And she said, Dr. Watkins, it was so good. I learned so much. My heart just was, your energy. And I'm saying to myself, really? I'm saying, glad I didn't know who I was, who I used to be. What I do normally, I said I gave her a heart attack. But it taught me something. Just because it's silent in the room don't mean that the people not engaged. It may mean that they're really engaged. Now, see it with me? Reflection point. Write down one area of influence you believe God has placed in your hands. Write down one area of influence you believe God has placed in your hands. It could be a department you over, or a team, a nonprofit school, a neighborhood God, whatever, But then after you do that, ask yourself, how am I using my leadership voice in this area? Daniel, we all have a leadership voice. What is your leadership voice? What are you saying? See, real leaders want leaders around them. Fake leaders want followers around them. If you're a real leader, you want people who have a voice, who say, hey, I get it, Doc, but you ever thought about this? It's okay. It's all right to challenge. I don't mind you challenging me. I do everything with respect, right? But we need to bring up new ideas, right? Now, sometimes in some circles we've been in, the leader didn't want nobody to challenge or bring out any ideas. They call it rebellion. Wasn't rebellion, or was it insecurity on the leader's part? I'll let y'all answer that. Very important. Y'all still with me? Is this making sense?
Yes, sir.
All right, do like this. Point to your brain. You are today. Shout, I am today.
I am today.
What I thought yesterday.
What I thought yesterday.
I'll be tomorrow.
I'll be tomorrow.
What I'm thinking today.
What I'm thinking today.
As a man thinking in his heart, so is he. You look like your decision. You look like your thought patterns. If you don't like how you look, change how you think. Because your thinking today is painting a picture of your look tomorrow. And that's why most people don't change. It's not because they don't love God. It's not because they don't want it. It's because they have not intentionally, daily with discipline, changed their thoughts, their thought pattern, right? Now, you don't have to fly. Let me tell you how people think. In my mom and mine, because I use this all the time. As Kim told them, I'm gonna use you in our life, so get used to it. But anyway, so I would fly somewhere, and my mom would say, make sure when you get there, it can be locally, it doesn't have to be internationally. Make sure you call me. When that plane land, you need to call me. You know, I would call her respectfully. One time I didn't call her intentionally. She said, how long you been there? I said, I've been, it's like the next day. She's like, you didn't call me, anything could happen. I said, Mom, I drove to Atlanta 3 weeks ago, and you never asked me to call you when I got there. She said, you was driving. I said, Mom, you ain't getting it. It is 1,000 times safer to fly than to drive. You Google it. But you live by perception, not reality. So you train yourself that flying, because you are scared, maybe not, she flies, so I'm not saying that, but flying is more dangerous. See, that's a mindset that will hinder you. Now, you ain't got to fly. I'm not saying it's to fly. I'm just telling you how our brain functions. It is much, dangerous, more dangerous for you to drive. When Joshua drives from Savannah, I'm praying way more than when you get on a plane. Now, if I get on a plane, I ain't praying too much. Because your chance of dying on a plane is slim to none, probably less than 0.03%. To be honest with you. Okay? But that's how, so that's just one example I've given you. Okay? Now you need to start researching yourself to see how much of that type stuff is running in the background of your life on a subconscious basis, which is hindering you from being what God called you. It's not that the word don't work. It's that you're not working it. You're working it in your own world, not in kingdom language. And there's no fear in God. Right? Y'all following this? So that's why, I tell Audrey all the time, I'm never surprised when I see people in certain situations. Maybe they here and should be here. Maybe they here and should be there. But I'm never surprised, okay? Because, it's a bunch of background stuff going on that's hindering them. They want it, but they have not addressed the issues. Let's go to this next part. Y'all still with me? Excuses versus execution. Break the barrier to bold leadership. So, in Jeremiah, back in Jeremiah, first chapter, verse 6 through 8. Let me just read part of that, verse 6 through 8, okay? He says, I replied, but Lord Yahweh, it's the Passion Version, I don't know how to speak in public. Besides, I'm too young. Now, God tells Jeremiah that before I knew you in Moses' womb, you're going to do these things. Hear how he responds back to God. Now, God's the maker of everything. He said, let there be birds and blue jays start flying. Let there be fish and catfish start swimming in the Tennessee River. He's God. So he responds to what God told him by saying, I'm too young. Gave him an excuse. God gonna tell you to do something. You say, I don't have the money. He didn't ask you for the money. Now, how is not your business? Oh, Moses the same way told Moses, I can't speak. I ain't asked you, could you speak? I got everything. we sometimes don't lead like we need to because we validate our excuses. He goes on to tell him, but Yahweh interpreted me. Do not use your youth as an excuse, he says. Do not use your youth as an excuse, for you will go wherever I send you, and you will speak whatever I tell you to say. Fear nothing when you confront the people, for I am with you, and I will protect you. I, Yahweh, have spoken. Wow. Right? So, leadership insight. Like Jeremiah, many leaders disqualify themselves due to fear, youth, inexperience, and inadequacy. But God affirms what he starts. You have to take the excuses off the table. Anybody been around me long enough, I tell you, that's an excuse. Excuses is later on in the teaching us, but excuses are just smoke screens for the uncommitted. Excuses are just smoke screens for the uncommitted. Professional development add-on. Common workplace leadership excuses. I'm not ready. They won't listen to me. I'm not a manager. Let me give you another one. I'm black. Or I'm a woman. Or it could be I'm white. Or I'm Hispanic. Or I'm a Smurf. I'm blue. And then what happens is you get around other excuse makers who are not really going to be successful as God wants them to be. And they say, man, I wouldn't do it, man, but, black man, hard for a black man. Okay. And then you say, yeah, man, it's hard for a black man. Yeah, man. So both of y'all start using excuses to make yourself feel good. Right? Tell myself I'm young. You have to take that off the table. Maybe you got to do something else. Work harder. Whatever you got to do. Keep on doing it. Are y'all following me? Because if being a certain ethnicity was an excuse, then we wouldn't have people of every ethnicity that are successful. I'm not saying racism don't exist. I'm not saying prejudice don't exist with all. I'm not saying, okay, that we don't have hatred and all. But what I am saying is, take it off the table. Deal with it. Just deal with it. Go and deal with it. True leaders don't wait for permission. They prepare and lead anyway. If God be for you, could complete that sentence. If God be for you, one more time. If God be for you, so while we struggling with who is against us? We quote this stuff all the time. If God be for me, who can be against me? It sounds good when you're preaching. But can we say it when opposition show up? See, that's when you got to say it. It's easy to smile when everything is going well. Here's another Doc Rock quote. You are who you are under pressure. You know y'all when everything going well? When pressure's on you, how do you respond? When pressure's on you, that's when you find out who you are. Something happened, you start cussing. That's who you are. It's cool. You just got to learn how to get rid of some of the words. You say, I only cuss when I'm mad. What? Mad cussing. It's all right. It's cool. But you have to get to know yourself under stress, under pressure. All right. Replace imposter syndrome with imparted confidence. Replace the imposter syndrome with imparted confidence. Rooted in purpose, not in perfection. Philippians 1:6 says, you can write this out. Philippians 1:6, just write the scripture down. Philippians 1:6 says, he that begun a good work in you. It says this. It says, be confident in this. He that began a good work in you is faithful to complete it until the day of Jesus Christ. So you get rid of this imposter syndrome and have confidence in God. Not just self alone, but in God. Now, some people are going to take it as arrogant. Some people may say, oh, Doc Rock, yeah, he may say a few things. I don't like that guy. He kind of arrogant. I'm not arrogant at all. Arrogance says you can do it on your own. I am very much know that without God, I'm in trouble. I very much know that I can do all things through Christ. So it's not even about me. But you're not going to try to dumb me down and tell me what I can't do. I can do all things through Christ. And if my confidence, mess with you, then that's your problem, not mine. Some of you counting down because your confidence is messing people up. Not arrogance now. If you arrogant, you think you better, as Apostle, as Dr. Skip Horton would say, live as a king, but keep the coming church. Live as a king, but keep the coming church. Meaning you can live up here and love people and relate to them and say hi to them. Stop thinking, being nice overly to people you think have something. Treat everybody the same. The homeless person on the street, treat them with respect. I'm telling you now, I treat everybody with respect. And y'all heard me say this before. You know, they're in Trent at home. When the garbage man come by, if I'm out there in the yard, I see him, I run out there and say, hey man, hey, thank you for taking my garbage, man. Appreciate you. That's right. Because I don't want to take it. And if he don't come with that truck, I'm going to have to go to the doggone landfill. Treat everybody with respect. Everybody. You know, you treat the CEO with respect. Then everybody else, you know, come on. Treat everybody. Okay, let's keep going. You remember Gideon, Judges 6? He led from weakness, y'all, but became a deliverer. He was a weak person, but became a deliverer. Same with many marketplace leaders who started in fear but rose with purpose, with focus. Excuse me. We all can have some baggage. We all have baggage. We all have fear. You got to overcome that fear. Courage is not the absence of fear. It's doing it anyway. It's overcoming fear. Fear comes on us all. Zig Ziglar would call it false evidence appearing real. What you gonna do with it? That's what you gotta ask yourself. What am I gonna do with it? Okay? What excuses are limiting beliefs have you allowed to silence your leadership? Think about that. What excuses or limiting beliefs have you allowed to silence your leadership? Some things have silenced your leadership, silenced you growing, silenced you being who you are. Find out those things and overcome them. Get past them. Get rid of that limited belief. I can't. You can. You can do it. It's never been done before. Well, be the first. Michael Dyson, the Chief Technology Officer and owner. I didn't say CEO. Michael Dyson, Dyson Vacuum Cleaners. He's not even the CEO. He's the Chief Technology Officer and the owner, because he don't have the personality in the disposition to necessarily lead. He's a super nerd. He stays in his place, have a CEO, and he owns the company. Over 3,000 failures. And now all of us enjoying sharks and all of the vacuum cleaners is bagless. Right? He overcame some things. He believed them. Just because you fail don't mean that it's final. We talk failure, not final. Well, why is it final then? Why you stop? Okay? All right. I already told you excuses are just smoke screens for uncommitted. So let's go to number 5. We got done. The equipped leader. You have what it takes. I want you to get this today. You have what it takes. Now, it's going to take some work. You know, you're just not going to come out and the stork going to bring it to you. You know, you used to have babies, right? The stork just bring the baby. What is a cocktail? How we got, I think that was one. But some of you ladies know that's not the deal. Stork don't bring nothing, right? Leadership insight. God does not just call you. He equips you. The touch of Jeremiah's mouth symbolized divine preparation. Let me go to Jeremiah and read this part right here. Jeremiah 9 and 10. Let me just go there. Jeremiah 9 and 10 says, Then Yahweh reached out his hand and touched my mouth and said to me, Now I have put my words in your mouth. See, today I have imparted to you great authority over nations and governments, to uproot and demolish, to destroy and dismantle, and you will plant and build something new. Okay? He prepared him. He touched his mouth. God is touching your mouth. He's touching your leadership voice to go forward and do some things. From a professional development point of view, leadership growth principle. Your greatness Your greatest tools are already in your hands. Your experience, your story, and a hunger to learn. Your experience, your story, and a hunger to learn. I heard Les Brown used to say, you gotta be hungry. That's how he said it. Some of y'all ever heard. You gotta be hungry. And he's right. You gotta be hungry. You got to have a thirst and a drive. You gotta have a thirst for righteousness. You gotta have a drive for more. Right? Because when you do that, okay, the windows open up, people come to you, and you get the tools you need. I always tell people, I'm gonna give you tools for your tool belt to get the job done. Right? And you got to go out there and get those tools. The job don't get done without the tools. Okay? Very important. You have it. You grow by being intentional with these things. Get this. You grow by being intentional. Shout intentionality.
Intentionality.
Guess what this means? Every day, you intentionally growing 1%. Every day. And at the end of the year, I told you, you grow 1% every day. At the end of the year, you'll be 37 times better. Prove it. Just a little. We're not asking you to make a big jump. Just little by little. Right? But you got to be intentional about it. Every day you got to get up and say, hey, I'm not going to eat as many sweets. I'm going to go to the gym. You know, maybe you can't do 10 push-ups. Maybe you only can do one. Every day until you do one. Do one for a week. I guarantee you next week you can do 2. But you got to be intentional. Okay? Now, so be intentional about these things right here. Number 1. Okay, well, let me go back here. Number 1, mentorship. All right? So get you a mentor. A coach, we're not the coach, I'm talking about that, but get you a mentor, somebody you can look up to, somebody that can talk into your life, somebody that can holds you accountable. A mentor is not somebody who won't hold you accountable. That's just a yes person. That ain't what you need. Okay? Coaching. You gotta have coaching. I have a coach. I meet my coach every month. Okay? And it ain't free. And sometimes he get on my nerves because I'm an executive coach too. I coach people. Every month I coach people. At some big companies, right? And I know what he's gonna say, and I'm like, oh crap, you hate when people give you your same stuff. But guess what? It pushes me. And I tell him something. He said, well, Doc, when you gonna do it? What's the date? And I know he's gonna ask that, coach. Yeah. Like, really? What's the date? He's here. He's if it ain't wrote down, it ain't real. Yeah, you're right. Right now. Seminars, conferences, services, like what you're here today. You gotta be intentional about these things. People are like, I ain't gotta go to church to be saved. No, you gotta go to church to be saved, but you gotta go to church to learn something. You ain't reading and doing too much, and then some of you don't know. Some people don't know the depths of the reading. No, come on now. You gotta be intentional about it. If not, you're gonna be in trouble. Books and podcasts. Be intentional. Read some books or listen to some books. You don't even have to read now. You gotta listen to books. Somebody asked me, like, our last 2 books, by the way, Attitude Determines Altitude and Goditude are both on Audible. So you both listen to both of them, right? Then stretch assignments in your workplace or ministry. These are assignments that are going to stretch you. That's beyond where you're at now, right? Very, very important. All right. Practical application. Identify one development area. Communication, conflict resolution, time management, or whatever, that you engage in this morning. Find you one. Last thing, and run out of time. The responsibility of the call. Leadership is stewardship. Okay? Like the reference in Luke 12 and 48. To whom much is given, what? Much is required. Much is required. Okay? Leadership is not about elevation. It's about responsibility. See, most people think leadership is about elevation. Wrong. That's how we mess up. That's when we get into title-based leadership. It's about responsibility. It's about lifting others up. Leaders would serve. Okay? Professional development add-on. John Maxwell principle, leadership is influence. Nothing more, nothing less. Maxwell said this. Modern leadership practice. And this one I practice all the time. Servant leadership. Leading by serving your team, not commanding them. You have to lead by what? Serving your team, not commanding. That's dictatorship. That's management. I do a seminar called Leader versus Manager. We want to lead. We lead people, we manage processes. You're trying to manage people, you can't. Because they're not the same every day. Just like, all of us have personality. The influence you have can open or close doors for others. Okay? Challenge. Stop waiting for a platform. Your presence is your platform. All right? Lead in your circle of influence. Stop trying to get in anybody else's circle. Just lead in your circle. If God wants you in a different circle, he'll bring opportunity. Be the thermostat, not the thermometer. What's the difference? The thermostat set the temperature. The thermometer reads the temperature. Set the temperature. You set the goal. Lead meetings with clarity. Serve your team. Mentor someone below you. It's the thing. Get somebody below you to mentor. You got a mentor, get you a mentee. Because that mentee gonna drive you up too. It's gonna help you. They're gonna help you as well. Did y'all get something out of this today? I hope you did. Want to invite you all this month, in a couple weeks, we're having our Empower Conference. It's online. You go to docrockleadership.com or it is there, or you can go to Eventbrite, and we have some powerful speakers. We're doing something different this year. On Friday night, I am on stage interviewing Kim and Larry Lewis and talking about their success. They are very successful entrepreneurs. And it's gonna be on Friday night. We're gonna have some live band playing. We're gonna have networking there on that Friday night. You don't want to miss it. We off the chain there at the Celebration Center there in Huntsville. And then on that Saturday, we have, of course, a series of work sessions, or not work sessions, seminars, breakout sessions, and it's gonna be really good. Got some awesome people. Matt Blues, we got Anderson, Steve Hill is gonna be speaking this year. And, several other people. It's gonna be great. And we have seminars and workshops for youth, not children, youth. Middle school to high school, and so go ahead and register for that. You don't want to miss it. It's gonna be great. All right, no bad days.
No bad days.
So you have bad minutes, you can have bad seconds, you have bad minutes. You may even have a few bad hours, but you cannot have a bad day. You got too many places to go, too many people to meet, too many things to do, too many people to influence to have a bad day. So here it is, all right? It's Super Sunday, it's Marvelous Monday, it's Terrific Tuesday, it's Wonderful Wednesday, it's Triumphant Thursday, it's Fantastic Friday, and it's Successful Saturday. I'm Doc Rock. Hey, you join me at the top. Bye. Turn these off. Yes.